Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Thank you so much for watching. We'd like to talk on the show about improvements in your life. And I've got a real good one right here. And this is how to be more productive. 13 tips to practice today. And you can find this through asana.com. That's ASANA.com. So this is some really, really good tips. You know, the dramas of life can kind of get you down. And when those dramas of life get you down, sometimes you're just not as productive because you're not thinking really clear. These are steps to help you to get right back into that flow again. Everything kind of works as a curve. Everything works as a flow. So when you get that flow back again, you'll be more productive. I promise you. So it's all about productivity. Increasing productivity without increasing your workload might seem like a fantasy. Yeah, it seems that way. But there are actionable steps you can take to become a more productive person. And here are the 3 tips to get you started. Number 1, simplify your surroundings. I know it sounds too easy to be true, but it is. So here's the problem. There's way too much going on in your workplace, which is distracting. People come in. If you own a retail place, I remember how this was. I used to own my retail store, and I would have all intentions of getting things done, and then people would come in and start talking to me. It's like, you know, they would. I guess they thought I was lonely or something, so they'd hang around, and I couldn't get anything done. I was trying to be nice and trying to be courteous, but sometimes that can be an issue. So here's the solution. Take control of your surroundings. Focus on what you can control, and then just work from there. So whether you're working from home or from the office, actually the best thing for me is to work from the home. So Phil had a studio built for me, which is pretty cool. Now your work environment plays a critical role in how productive and focused you can be. So regardless of where you're working, practice reducing outside distractions in order to more easily focus on the task at hand. Now, the best way to do this is to start small. For example, if you're frequently distracted by noise, try noise canceling headphones. If you don't have a great working chair, try using a lumbar support cushion. MyPillow.com, you can find them there. Use promo code Donna, and you'll find those and get a good price, over half off. Reduce clutter and make sure your desktop is clean and organized. By simplifying your home office setup and finding solutions for common distractors, you can find focus and flow instead of suffering from constant distractions. So here's a quote. Distractions are costly, so we're focused on eliminating them wherever we can. And that's what we need to make a practice at doing. Okay, number 2, try time management strategies. So what is a strategy? We're going to talk about that. Problem, you've developed some bad habits when it comes to procrastinating. Oh my goodness, that is like this should be like one of the 10 commandments. Let's make 11 commandments. Thou shalt not procrastinate. Solution, beat your procrastination with tried and true time management techniques. So let's do it. We all procrastinate. And procrastination isn't inherently a bad thing. The time you spend procrastinating can actually lead to more happiness and better decisions. Now that's just taking a look, okay? That doesn't mean you dwell on it. But when it comes to increasing productivity and high impact work, you want to time box your procrastination so you aren't spending the whole day, work day, on a social media rabbit hole. My grandmother used to say, don't work to get out of work. And that's what she meant by that. Time management techniques are always to think about upcoming work in order to get the right headspace, reduce procrastination, and increase productivity in the workplace. Even just planning how you're going to tackle work ahead of time can help you focus. So here are several time management techniques designed to help you with productivity, including this one. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Now, what's that? To start the Pomodoro technique, set a timer for 25 minutes and just dive into your work. 25 minutes, just dive in. Once your 25 minutes are up, take a 5-minute break. Ideally doing something like walking to the kitchen to get a snack if you're working from home. Although it's okay to scroll through social media if you really want to, if you just have to. Repeat the 25 minutes and 5-minute short breaks cycles 4 times. Then after the fourth 25-minute working session, take a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. Now here's the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle, otherwise known as the 80-20 rule, is simple. It states that you spend 20% of your time on 80% of your work. How do we do that? In applying the Pareto principle to time management, you're encouraged to work on the 80% of the work that only takes 20% of your time to do. By getting quick tasks out of the way, you'll feel more accomplished and be ready to dedicate focus time and the bulk of your work for the day, the 20% of the work that takes 80% of the time. Getting things done, that's the GTD method, was invented by David Allen in the early 2000s. So, in his time management methodology, you write down all the work you need to do. Then you break it into smaller chunks if necessary. That way, instead of remembering the work in your head and attempting to recall and prioritize your task, you can see all of your upcoming work in one place and take action. In order to employ the GTD methodology, make sure you have a system to capture upcoming task. Now, the last one is eat the frog. Eat the frog. The eat the frog time management principle is based on the famous Mark Twain quote. If it's your job to eat a frog, the best to do it first thing in the morning. In the eat the frog principle, you should tackle your hardest work first. I'm telling you, this works. Or maybe the thing you don't like doing. Everything that comes after it will be more pleasant and less difficult. Much like anything you eat after consuming a frog. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, reduce busy work. So what's busy work? Now, the problem is work about work is draining your team's productivity. Solution: use a productivity tool to share the central source of truth with your team and boost efficiency for high impact work. Okay, so busy work is key culprit of work about work. Tasks like searching for documents or trying to schedule a meeting via back and forth emails in the office, busy work manifest or unimportant. Time-consuming tasks, accidentally duplicating work, or long processes to find information or get approvals. Don't you just hate that? Oh, man. One of the things I hated most about working with GTE wasn't the people. It was nothing like that. It was getting something approved. So I would come up with an idea for maybe some of my clients. And so it would be based on customer service. So it's always been about customer service. So it would be something to make that part of what I did. It was fun. I like the customer service part of it much better than anything else. But I would have to get things approved. I couldn't just go out there and do it. Even like a particular color or something like that had to be exact, colors. And so it was like, you'd have to go up through the chain of command. So this person, they're out on vacation, so you couldn't get a signature until they got back. Well, then when they got back, then this person, maybe something happened in the family. They had to take some time off. And then you finally get that signature, and then you had another one you had to climb up that stair. And then maybe that person had taken a time off, or you get to the one up that, that person's been, they quit the job. So then what do I have to do? Then you have to get acquainted with a new person and blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. So that is called busy work. I can't get my goal reached because I got to wait on other people kind of a thing. Okay, so in order to beat the busy work, build a central source of truth for all your team's work. When everyone can see the big picture and connect the dots on their own, you can spend more time being productive, collaborating, and less time on work about work. Kind of like my grandmother used to say, what do you do, work to get out of work? So, again, you can see how your manager worked with a time management tool. That can help as well. Try a work management tool like Asana, ASANA. So with the work management tool, you can standardize and centralize team processes instead of chasing approvals. You can see, so somebody else had to go through this too. You can see how your manager or related stakeholders are progressing on a review task. Rather than emailing to ask again when a team member will be finished with an assignment, just check the progress directly on your shared tool. By reducing busy work, you can free up time to be more productive and high impact work. I think it's pretty cool. Number 4, capitalize on peak productivity hours. Now here's the problem. You have scattered meetings all day, so when you do get down to work, you don't have an uninterrupted time to focus. Now here's a solution. Schedule your meetings in blocks. Great idea. So you can focus on deep work during peak productivity hours. Have you ever answered the question, are you a morning person or a night person? You know that personal productivity can vary significantly depending based on the time of the day. Some of us, for example, hammering out work first thing in the morning is really satisfying, and those tasks tend to be easier to focus on. I'm that person. I'm the morning person. For others, you might prefer to get down to business after lunch. Not me. I want to hurry up and get everything done in the morning hours, then I can be a little more relaxed in the afternoon when I get home or when I get to supper or whatever. I'm a much easier person to live with. For others, you might prefer to get after lunch. Knowing when you're most productive can help you better approach and structure your day. So then once you know that when you know your most productive, practice building focus time into your calendar around your peak productive hours. You got to know when those are. That way, instead of frequent scattered meetings, you have a calendar that's optimized for your focus and productivity. So I think this is just really a good thing to do. I like this one right here. Either way, practice optimizing your schedule to boost your peak productivity hours. Also consider scheduling your work week so you have an entire meeting-free day. Okay, so deep work is focused on chunks of time that you can work without distractions. When you don't have to worry about meetings or distractions, you can dedicate more time to productivity and to deep work. Okay, let's go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to McCurdyLawFirm
gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. We're talking about how to be productive at work. And you can also use this in your personal time at home. You're a stay-at-home mom, you do school, homeschooling, that kind of thing. These tasks work here too. Okay, number 5, avoiding multitasking. Here's the problem. You're working on a few things at once, but everything takes so long. Here's the solution. Focus on one task at a time in order to get into the flow state. That's the thing about it. You got to have a flow. Okay, it's got to work. It's almost like this rhythm of life, and it just keeps working. Fun fact, humans aren't good at multitasking. So when you attempt to do 2 things at once, your brain actually processes information for both tasks more slowly. So as a result, instead of doing one thing well, you ultimately are doing 2 things, well, less well. To avoid multitasking and increasing productivity, focus on tackling one task at a time. Okay, here are some easy tips to do that. Number 1, eliminate distractions by putting your phone face down and disabling social media or text notifications on your computer. Stop it. Before you dive into work, eat a snack, go to the restroom, pour yourself a glass of water so you aren't distracted by physical discomfort. Listen to calming music if that helps you focus. Consider choosing music that doesn't have lyrics, or try listening to music in a language you don't speak. Incorporate fun. If you're starting to feel bored and you're working on a routine or a basic task, try to make it fun. Time for yourself. Create an internal competition or look for recurring elements in your work drive to drive away the boredom. Number 6, let's talk about this one. Prioritize important work. Problem. Here it is. You have a whole lot of work to do and you're not sure what to focus on first. It's almost like, somebody put a blinder around your eyes and you got to throw the dart. Where did it go? Where do I start? Okay, here's the solution. Connect your daily work to team or company goals so you have clarity on which tasks are important and how each task connects to company objectives. Okay, so here's how you do it. Knowing how your day-to-day work connects to company objectives or team initiatives isn't just nice to have, it's critical, is a component on effective productivity at work. When you have clarity, you have more effective prioritize, you can do that better, so you can ensure you're tackling your highest impact work first. Additionally, team members who know how their work connects to the company initiatives are twice as motivated. Number 7, cut down on notifications. Problem: you're distracted by constant notifications from email, messaging, and project management tools. Here's the solution. Try snoozing notifications or using do not disturb features. It can wait. It most certainly can. It doesn't need to distract you. Now, in order to home in on what you're working on and get your best work done, you need to eliminate distractions. The biggest culprit of distractions are notifications, whether they're productive notifications like email or Slack messages, or non-work related notifications like social media pings and text messages. Increasing workplace productivity isn't about cutting yourself off completely. Rather, look for tools that offer snooze or do not disturb features. That way you can dive into deep work without worrying about being pulled out of your flow by an ill-timed notification. And most of the time it's like nothing, just silly stuff. So do not disturb features have other added benefits. They let your team members know you're working on something. Most tools with do not disturb features alert team members who attempt to contact you that you aren't receiving notifications right now, so they can more accurately predict when to expect a message back from you. They'll know you're not getting notifications, but that you'll reply to them when you finish your work. This is a great way to build healthy work and work-life habits. And I like that idea because it doesn't look like, oh, they're ignoring me. You don't know why, because there you go, see, thinking things that aren't happening. So let's say I'm trying to get an answer from Phil, let's just say. And so, and by the way, don't just keep sending messages to people over and over and over again. I've had people to leave me voicemails, like, when do I get my card for winning the birthday club or whatever, and they just keep sending messages, ding, 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 ding. It's just like over and over again. I can't listen to all of them. I just can't. So just send one message to somebody, okay? I'm sure that they'll get back with you. They most certainly will. Okay, now integrate your business tools. Now, here's the problem. You spend too much time context switching between different business tools like chat, email, spreadsheets, and more. Here's the solution. Manage your work in a central source of truth that's able to integrate your business toolkit to avoid switching between apps. It's aggravating switching between apps anyway, because of so much security that has to go into everything. Most of the time you're having to read, like, oh my goodness, they're telling me I've got to redo my password. Oh my goodness, I don't have time to write it down. Maybe I'll remember it. No, you're not ever going to remember it. We have too many passwords, too many, okay? So these things can be annoying. Did you know that the average employee switches between between 9 tools per day? So, and that's the thing about some bosses. They want to have like every tool in the whole wide world out there for their employees. And the problem is they spend so much time trying to train you on these tools that you're not getting anything done. So when your work is scattered and hard to find, you spend precious, non-productive time simply toggling between tools to find the right information. If you have the context for your school, work, whatever, in one tool, then the work isn't happening in a second tool, and any communication about that work stored in a third place, simply accessing the information you need to get work done, becomes a huge drain on your productivity levels. Instead, find a central source of truth where you can integrate all your business tools, eliminating data silos, and ultimately increasing workplace productivity. That's part of the job and part of getting your work management tool and getting everything done in a timely manner and not wasting your time on stupid stuff. Okay, automate manual work. Okay, here's the problem. You spend too much time routing task and manually triaging work. Now here's a solution. Select a tool that helps you automate routine tasks. So another contributor to Work About Work, like you're working to get out of work. Okay, so things like writing requests, sharing tasks with stakeholders, and moving things through the pipe. If you manage a team or a project, you are likely to spend a good chunk of your day on those manual tasks instead of focusing on the high impact, productive work. In order to reduce manual work, try a tool that automates quick work for you. You know what? Just a plain old piece of paper, an ink pen, or a pencil works really, really well. And then so let's say, first thing I want to do for myself, I want to walk my dog. It just makes me feel good. I walk around the garden. I'm doing two things at the same time, okay? So I'm walking my dog, and I'm walking through the garden. There's two, out of the way. Click. Okay, on to the next one. What is something I hate doing? Let's see. About my job, I like everything I do, but let's just pretend I didn't like to be on the phone. Well, I want to do the phone first, okay? I want to get that out of the way, all the phone calls, all those kinds of things. And emails, I don't like answering emails. I'd rather talk to somebody on the phone. I don't have to guess about anything. So, that's done. So I'm going to go ahead and do the emails first. I'm going to get that out of the way. Whew, I can breathe because now I know I don't have to mess with the email, okay, until maybe lunchtime. Sometimes you got to go through it. And see, I get so much junk email. I'm sure I miss really good ones because I'm so tired and I'm so sleepy. Delete, 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 delete. And I probably deleted something really good. So just the stuff you don't like to do, get it out of the way. That's the best thing to do. Now, we talked about the manual work. So to reduce manual work, try a tool that automates quick work for you. Okay, now with rules, we now save 2 to 6 steps for each of our 40 to 50 customer requests per sprint because tasks are automatically added to other projects and moved through each stage. Number 10, say no. Here's the problem. Frankly, there's just too much on your plate right now. Solution, practice saying no to new projects. Just say no. Or get back into the habit of clarifying your priorities and bandwidth with new initiatives are suggested. So saying no to new work might seem like a counterintuitive productivity tip. After all, aren't the most productive people the ones who can do it all? Well, not really. Productive people know what their priorities are, which means knowing what their priorities are not. So when you say no to tasks you don't have time for, you're making more time for the high impact task you've already identified. At the end of the day, you don't need to do it all. You need a way to focus on doing what's most valuable to you and your team. In order to say no effectively, practice setting expectations with your team so you can incorporate change control management strategies. So you change control management, and that's the practice of identifying, documenting, and authorizing changes to your work or to your projects. Try clarifying your priorities early and often. Even if you don't say no, make sure your team members and stakeholders understand the relative priority of what you're working on. Try saying not right now. If saying no doesn't feel right, just saving tasks for a future date. Keep these task lists for a rainy day, but don't bog down your productivity with things you don't have time for. Set yourself up for success. Problem, you spend precious time each morning trying to figure out what to focus on for the day. Here's the solution. Think about the upcoming work before signing off so you have a clear starting point in the next morning. And then number 12, which is a real good one, increase team clarity. Here's the problem. You and your team spend precious time chasing information and approvals. I've told you that. That's what I hate about the corporate world. That's what I love about what I do now. I come up with an idea, bang, I just do it. Here's the solution. Share a central source of truth so you can work, review, and find context all in one place. My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on ICE Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Thank you again so much for watching.